Well, I'm out here because of my old friend Joe Sleva, who introduced me to the Everglades back in 1991. And actually, it's really cheap out here in South Florida in these Chiquis hotels. It's $15 to camp for a week. And so it's the best buy in town. And of course, you can't get photographs of the Everglades unless you go to the Everglades. And unless you want to take photographs of only the birds, you have to get off the highway. And
so what are you doing for these 4 days?
Well, I'm going to battle my way through the Nightmare, which I did a few years ago in Skanu, and now I have a Sundowner, a small flats boat. I'm going to try to get through the Nightmare in a flats boat. Try to get photos from the inside of the Nightmare. There aren't many photographs, you won't see them. Not many people go through there, and but I'm going through, and hopefully you'll go through ahead of me to clear the way and get some good video.
What's the most fascinating thing you've seen out here?
I've been to every campsite, camped on almost every campsite in the Everglades. And I think some of the greatest sights are like Mormon Key and Joe River Chiquis. It takes a great sun going down. And I've seen many things, but they come and go quickly, like python and dolphins, of course, leaping out of the water. Terrific show, even out on the Gulf. Every hour on the hour, there's some sudden performance here in the Everglades. Or if you don't have a sudden performance of some kind on the part of the wildlife, maybe you can sustain a sudden injury. It's hard getting up and down on the docks and getting through places, fighting your way through the jungle of the Nightmare, for instance. And so it's so easy to get hurt. I've never gotten out of here without some injuries, torn muscles, scratches, bitten half to death by horseflies and mosquitoes. These are aggravations that make it impossible for most people to get into the Everglades and to see what's out here.
How come people don't come out here?
People don't come out here because of the exceptionally demanding logistics and planning. You have to come either by kayak or by boat, and then after you advance 100 or 200 yards, you're totally lost unless you have compass, marine chart, GPS, and you know how to navigate. And after you get a few hundred yards more, you have to make sure to remember to drink something so that you don't get dehydrated, and put your suntan lotion on so you don't get burnt to death. And then when you realize you've gone a half an hour to an hour and then 2 hours and there's no place to rest, you realize it's going to tap your energy as well, and you have to be prepared and know exactly what you're doing, where you go, or else you have a very difficult time. Not many people come out here, and certainly not this far. But
where are we right now?
We're in the Harney River Chiquis, sort of near the mouth of the Nightmare, and you just heard a fish jump behind me. It's nice, the wildlife here.
All right. Anything else?
Anything else? Oh no, I would also say that it's let me put in a plug for video Pat Welsh's Wilderness 99, which was his first bold attempt to do the entire waterway and record it on his own.
All right, now you can do your monologue. You get 2 minutes.
Oh, all right. Now, I've always said that I'm from New Jersey, so I can at least, one thing I know I can do is talk and keep going. And last night, as happens most of the time out here, you guys went to sleep, and I was the last one. I was still talking when you went to sleep, and then I kept you up by snoring all night. So here, there's other wildlife out here. There's wild people out here, and it takes a certain screw loose to come out here and to camp out here. But once you get out here and you appreciate it, there is no campfire like out on a Chi or out on a Gulf Beach or in the 10,000 Islands. Campfire is just beautiful, and the lapping of the waves and the breeze and the sounds of the jungle. This is something special. If South Florida ever loses this or lets it get polluted or go under, South Florida itself is lost. And so that my big pitch would be to do everything, I mean everything, to preserve the Everglades and the South Florida natural environment. That's absolutely essential. We may as well die out if we're going to let this Everglades go under.
All right, now you can do your political advertisement.
The political advertisement. I'm telling you guys with guns, you guys hunters, fishermen, you guys that fish and love tarpon and love to get those big ones out in the Gulf, it's your job. It's not the environmentalists' job. It's your job to fight for these Everglades and keep the water clean for wildlife and keep it from being ripped off by the big commercial fishermen and being polluted by the farmers. Bless their souls. They were doing a great job building our sugar industry, but they've got to stop it. They've got to back off, because if they kill the wildlife and the estuaries and the fish start dying off and the wildlife starts leaving, the birds, the flocks start going, all of which is happening, and then we're all going to pay a terrible, terrible price. So you sportsmen, get off your butts. And thank you, Florida Sportsman Magazine, for doing that and coming out fighting for the environment. Very important. Any more politics?